Welcome to another video from ExplainingComputers.com. I can't quite believe it, but it's now July 2018. The first half of 2018 has gone, which means it's now time for another of my 6 monthly channel updates. So what's been going on with me and Explaining Computers in the past 6 months? Well, I think the first thing to say at the channel level is it's been a lot more controlled, a lot more docile, shall we say, than it was in the second half of 2017. For myself and for a lot of other YouTubers, the last 6 months of 2017 were, shall we say, challenging. It was very unclear what was going to happen with YouTube and the advertising model and indeed the viability of the channel. Everything has really settled down in the last 6 months. It's just been getting down to business as usual. That's been a real relief. In terms of the channel's development, we've had a lot of milestones, and I spoke to you like this at the end of 2017 and 31st of December, I think it was. For a start, we passed 250,000 subscribers on I think it was the 1st of January, and recently the channel passed 300,000 subscribers. There's now over 300,000 people taking part in this Explaining Computers community. I find that amazing, so thanks to all of you who have subscribed and who continue to watch the channel. We've also had in the past 6 months the 10-year anniversary. You might remember that 10-year anniversary video. If you haven't seen it, go and watch that video. And we've also had very recently the 200th video uploading. So lots of things have gone on in terms of the channel's development in the past 6 months. In terms of content, I've tried to keep things varied. I always do try to keep things varied. I don't always succeed as much as I'd want to, for reasons I'll come to a bit later in the video. But we've had lots of different things. We've had, for example, some real robots, which were really a swiner challenge to film. We've had some virtual robots, which were an absolute pleasure to put into a particular video. We've had a new Raspberry Pi, the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B Plus. We've had a new Tinkerboard with Tinkerboard S. We've had some highly successful attempts to cool the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B Plus, and some less successful attempts to cool the Tinkerboard. We've also had, talking of cool, some really nice creative Linux stuff on the channel. We've looked at some alternative operating systems. Those videos have been very popular. We've had some NAS videos. I've not covered network attached storage before on the channel. I've done 3 videos on it in the past 6 months. And we've looked at a retro case, and Mr. Scissors went dancing. No, he did. If you missed that, go back and look at the 10th anniversary video. Oh, and finally, we've had 2 characters called Molly and Stan falling out over a space hopper in a video about blockchain. You can't say there hasn't been some variety on this channel in the past 6 months. Now, the other thing that's changed in the past 6 months is the channel has gone full 1080p. And it's got various implications, one of which I have to look a little more closely for bits of dust on my shirt and on the things I'm filming when I'm showing you. I always seem to be filming dust these days and seeing it in the edit and going, oh, I can see the dust in 1080p. And the other thing that's happened in terms of moving to 1080p is I've changed my camera. I was filming with a Sony V1E for about 9 years. Almost all of this channel was shot with that Sony V1E, and I'm now shooting with a Sony NX5R, which is it's just a better camera. It's a 3-chip camera which has got 3 full HD sensors. And if I bring on my trusty little Canon XA10, this is a camera I go out and about with to film things. It's currently running. If we look up, we can see there's a light over there. Look, and another light over there. But in front of me, there's the Sony NX5R. That is what I am seeing when I'm talking to you. Now, some of you may be wondering why I've not gone for a DSLR. I know a lot of YouTubers shoot on DSLRs these days, but for various reasons, I prefer to have a traditional smaller sensor camcorder. And not least, I like having balanced audio inputs. And as you can see, we've got 2 XLR inputs on the front audio pod here, as well as another audio section on the side of the camera under this flap, where we can set the inputs and levels. More generally, the camera has got a lot of physical controls, so you can change the gain, you can change the white balance and so on without entering into menus. And most importantly for the work that I do, this camera has got a 20:1 optical zoom lens, and you just couldn't get that on a DSLR, and I frequently shoot at both ends of this lens when making Explaining Computers videos. And having a camera with relatively small sensors also allows me to obtain the depth of field necessary for those close-up shots that I frequently include in videos. So, what do I plan on pointing my camera at in the coming weeks and months? Well, I make videos in batches, And the next batch coming up is going to include a video on this thing. This is the Gemini PDA. This is an interesting product. That might be the video next week. I'm not quite sure yet. There's also going to be a video in my next batch about using a Raspberry Pi to create a networked camera with motion detection, so you can access a camera over a network run from a Raspberry Pi. And I also want to make an updated video on quantum computing. I did a quantum computing video last year. It was very popular. A lot's gone on in quantum computing in the past year. I want to do an update on that. And linked to that more broadly, I want to make quite a few more what I call production-focused videos. Videos where I have to do a lot of research, write a script, put things together, probably do bits of animation and stuff. And I've got videos planned around that on things like explaining RAM, explaining PCIe, looking at how computers work more generally. And I had planned to do those videos, you may remember from last week's update videos, in the first half of 2018. And it hasn't happened. Why not, you cry? Well, it's largely because I've had a lot of other work coming in, which in many ways is a good thing. I work as a speaker, as a lecturer, as I think most of you know, in addition to running this channel. And you don't tend to get a lot of speaking work in the first half of the year, in January and February. It tends to sort of tail off as well in the middle of the year, in sort of July and August. People don't run events over the summer. But I've actually had very consistent work in the first half of 2018. Every month I've had at least one speaking engagement to sort out. And I've also ended up working for the University of Nottingham. Again, I left the University of Nottingham at the end of 2015, or end of November 2015, after 25 years lecturing there. And I went back and did a bit more teaching for them in 2016, thought that would be the end of it. Went back into some more teaching in 2017, thought that'd be the end of it. You can see the pattern here. I've gone back and done quite a lot of teaching for them in the first half of 2018 as well. And that's prevented me from making some of those videos take a bit more time. Videos that'll be in production over a period of weeks with a lot more scripting and that sort of stuff. I still want to make my video on the digital cinema. I've done so much work on that. That's going to be a really exciting video, which probably means I'll really like it and no one will watch it, but I'm going to make it anyway. The only really big video like that I've made this year has been the blockchain video with Molly and Stan and the space opera and stuff. I really like that. It wasn't terribly popular, but the feedback was good, so I want to make more videos like that. Looking a bit further ahead across the next 6 months, there will be videos on some of the upcoming single-board computers. The Odoo Bolt is coming up. It's sorted out on Kickstarter, and the Latte Panda Alpha is on Kickstarter. And people keep saying, Chris, are you going to review these new boards if I can review them next week? I can't review them next week. They don't exist yet. But I have been promised a Odoo Bolt as soon as one is available towards the end of the year. I think they come out formally in December. I might get one a bit before that, but it won't be a lot before that. And the Latte Panda Alpha hopefully before that. So there'll be new single-board computers coming up. And I know some of you don't like me doing videos on single-board computers, but they are popular. They are in some ways the heart and soul of the channel. They keep everything else going. But I'm going to stick to my strategy moving ahead, which is never to do 2 single-board computer videos in 2 consecutive weeks. Less than half of the content on this channel will be single-board computers, but they are certainly one of the big things in terms of profile. Other thing to say in terms of forthcoming content more broadly is I want to start building up again my Explaining the Future channel. You might know I've got a second channel called Explaining the Future. I've kind of ignored it because I've been focusing on this one over the past few years. I want to get back to doing monthly content on Explaining the Future. I've just passed the 10-year anniversary on that channel on Explaining the Future. You might want to go and look at the video about that. What did I get right? What did I get wrong over the past 10 years? But I do hope to have that monthly content coming up. So if you want more content from me more generally, go and subscribe, go and watch Explaining the Future. It's not all about technology at all. The next video is about the future of food, which I've shot, but that will be coming up on the other channel here on YouTube. So, here we are at the end of another channel update video. Another 6 months has gone by. I like making these channel update videos, not least because it means I haven't got to think of a particular technical topic or a technical setup for a video like this. When you make a weekly video, which I've now maintained for over 2.5 years, it's nice to have a little breather every 6 months to go, phew, I can just do a video where I go, hello, hello, there we are. That just makes my life a little bit easier. Doing 50 new videos, topic-based videos a year is a little bit easier somehow than doing 52. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask you, forgot to ask you earlier, is length of videos. How long do you think should a video on Explaining Computers be? I've noticed in the past few months my videos are getting longer. The more I speak, the longer the videos get. You'd think I'd have noticed that, but that's how it works, Chris. Oh yes. But should I be making videos, say, less than 10 minutes? Should I be sticking to what I think is my optimum of about 10 to 12, although I've not actually achieved that recently? Or are you happy with the longer videos as I've been making? Please let me know about that down in the comments section. Anyway, that is it for now. If you've enjoyed this video, what should you do? Press the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't pressed that bell icon, press that bell icon as well, so you always see the latest stuff from Explaining Computers. And I hope to talk to you again very soon.